So, if you are an avid supporter of rugby in the Eastern Cape or South Africa in general, you've seen something over the last couple of weeks where we have actually seen an upsurge of people feeling a sense of disgruntlement over certain results that have actually gone. And most notably, the one that I want to speak about is the one around Selborne College. Selborne is a school that is one of the top schools in the country and one of the top in the border. And for the longest, they have been playing exceptional rugby, being one of those schools that is almost hard to beat. And seen over the last little while is that Selborne, unfortunately, has gone into a bit of a dip. It's gone into a bit of a slump, and the sort of there is a bit of worry in some of the circles of rugby, especially the people who come out to actually watch Selborne play. But I'm one of those people that is not particularly worried about the fact that it's not going their way. My greatest worry comes into how some of these comments are actually directed at the kids. And I'm particularly using the term kids as opposed to the players. And the reason for that, I want people to understand these are kids. They might play first team and what have you and have greater high aspirations in terms of them wanting to play in higher leagues. But the biggest problem we have is the fact that we don't understand some of the dynamics that happens in schools. So firstly, understanding the fact that when it comes to schoolboy rugby, they are coached by teachers. These are people, yes, that would have coaching qualification, which has been part of the standard, especially with this box smart program to make sure that there's safety when it comes to players. So these are people who know what's going on in the rugby fraternity. So that is the first thing. So secondly, we need to understand there's been a great investment in terms of how some of those schools have gone on to be, almost like an academy of sorts. There has been a thing where some schools invest in, they've got a gym, they've got a strength and conditioning coach, they've got a forwards coach, a backline coach, an attack coach. So quite a number of things that they've actually invested. Now, coming back to the issue of Selborne, in terms of them being a powerhouse, that at the moment it's almost like on floating waters, or it's become like the Titanic and is seemingly looking like it's sinking. Guys, these are kids. These are children who are finding their way. They're navigating through high school, navigating through anything that a teenager would. And for people to feel a sense that let us throw as much shade as we can, unfortunately, it's going down the wrong way. Instead of anything, we should be asking the very people that are saying the standards have dropped to this or that. Things do change in schools, that is understandable. But one of the things that we can do as a community is ask ourselves, how do we lend a hand? How to become the support system that these children really need? How do we become the people that create citizens that actually look at rugby differently? Because if we are not careful, we are going to break these young boys. We are going to be the ultimate destroyer of the very futures of the kids that we say that we're trying to protect. So instead of being one of those people that is upset about the fact that it's going down, or according to you, how about you come and actually to the school and say, you know what, guys, this is what I've actually seen from Selborne. It's going down, and this is the thing. But how about you also evaluate and say, hang on, aren't other schools catching up to what we've been doing as a Selborne community? Because that's a big thing, is the fact that you can't expect schools to always be in the low tier frame. I mean, if I look at an international side, let's take Argentina, for instance. Argentina is one of those sides where they just don't go away. But if you look at results normally, it's like they'll win, they'll lose, they win, they'll lose. They're not really a powerhouse. But in the time that they've spent playing in the TRC, you've seen a very great improvement in Argentina. Similarly, with schools that play in Selborne, they've had to adapt, they've had to look for a way. And in doing so, they've now usurped Selborne somehow. Even schools on the border, schools in the greater Eastern Cape. So these are some of the things that I do believe that we need to look into before we actually start bashing kids and thinking that we're doing the right thing. So it's up to us to protect it. A legacy is being built. But at the end of the day, let us all just be aware of how we are actually contributing to the building or the destruction of the very kids that we think that we are building. Thank you.